God never showed up.
I'm screaming out, yo, God, please save me. Outside my mind, man, I think I'm going crazy. Forgotten victims saying they never heard of us. Slain by the small town murderers. Small town murders. Small town murders. Small town murders. Welcome to the small town murders.
Good afternoon, everyone. Treasure Troller here. We are at the Mount Hope Cemetery in Shelby, Michigan. And we are doing a small town murder vlog on the sad case of Miss Andrea Bosse. This was actually a requested vlog from one of the viewers from a previous vlog that we had put up. I believe it was the Prevecki family murder. So if you haven't watched that one, feel free to check that one out. So let's get on with this one. Miss Bosse was an 11-year-old girl that lived in a small community called Lakewood Club. And that is in the Twin Lake area of Muskegon, just north of Muskegon, actually in the same general location of the couple of the other vlogs that we have done with small town murders. So anyways, on June 17th, Andrea was abducted. And it wasn't long. It didn't take law enforcement long to zero in on one particular suspect. His name was Dean Metcalf. And Dean was actually a family friend, a good friend of Andrea's father. And about 6 months prior to the abduction, during the winter of 96 or early 97, Andrea's mother had noticed a rather very unusual attraction that Dean had to Andrea. And unfortunately, Andrea's best friend was Dean's daughter. And so, not disallowing her to see her best friend, they told her she was no longer allowed to go over to her house. But on the day in question, when Andrea's parents left to go to work, and just prior to her grandmother arriving there to babysit, Dean Metcalf went into their home, abducted Andrea by gunpoint. Within a couple of hours, law enforcement was on or looking for Dean. It was a multi-state or multi-county effort, and within 2 days, or on June 20th, which was 3 days later, he was arrested, and he was actually charged on 2 other molestation charges. He was caught on the other side of the state in a small town or small area called Lapeer. They feel that he had some family connections, distant family connections in Lapeer. He went over there, and this was still early in the cell phone days. A little known secret that was being sort of withheld from the public at the time was cell phone tracking. And that's how they were actually able to track Dean over to Lapeer. He was found at a gas station by an FBI agent, and soon after he was spotted, he was arrested. Now, according to some reports, Dean had about $35,000 worth of money in his car. It sounded like maybe from these other prior cases, he knew this was going to be the end. Maybe they were closing in on him. There's a little bit of speculation as to why He abducted Andrea at that time. They thought maybe he thought this was the, if he did it, everyone was going to know it was going to be the last thing he ever did. There was talk from some individuals that I had discussed the case with from the Lapeer area. They kind of felt like this was supposed to end in a gunfight with police. But he was arrested. Like I said, he was charged on these 2 other cases. Now in July, about a month prior, or a month after he was arrested, I should say, on the other cases, he did make a confession to abducting Andrea and killing her. But he wasn't actually saying where the body was. And he was set to make a full confession in September. He was given a 15-year to life sentence on those 2 other cases. And then, now this could have been for, you know, the 3 strikes, or if another sentencing like that, he would be giving life without parole, but he recanted his confession. He was not going to confess to the Andrea Bosse case, but unfortunately for Mr. Metcalf, DNA was not on his side, and they had evidence that Andrea had been in his pickup truck. And so on May 4th of 1999, just about 2 years after, he pleaded no contest in the Andrea Bosse case. However, he still was not giving up the location of Andrea's body. It wasn't until March 30th of 2002 when Andrea's body was found. So he did get a life sentence without parole. Like I said, there's some questions that still remain with this case, but the one thing that this case does have that some of our others don't have is a final resting place. So we are coming up now on Andrea's final resting place. So this is Andrea's final resting place here in Shelby. So we followed the path right to her grave site. It's a very easy grave to find. So if you're ever in Shelby, stop and leave a bird feeder in one of the several trees located in the cemetery. So with that, this is Treasure Troller saying aloha and good day.